Hello, I'm Mark Reimer from Freiheit Care, and thank you for your interest in learning how to use Zoom to join a webinar or take part in a meeting. I'll take you through the steps of installing the Zoom program on your computer and then show you some of the functions of the program once everything is up and running. This is designed for someone who is fairly new to computers, so I'm going to try to cover all of the steps. Please feel free to follow along. The first thing that you will need most likely a laptop computer. You can also use a desktop computer. What is important is that it has three things: a camera, a microphone, and a set of speakers, and that those are connected and those are working. So here's the picture of a laptop. The camera is this little guy right at the top. Usually there's a microphone also installed near the camera, and most laptops have speakers either up here or just underneath the housing. So that will give you everything that you need from a hardware perspective. If you want to use a headset, often you might want to do this if you're using a desktop computer. This would have two of those three things that you need. It has a microphone and has a set of speakers. It has a USB plug that goes into your computer. Now, if you're using something like this, beware of this little control button in the middle. If you push the silver button on this model of headset, it mutes the microphone. So if you are sure you've done everything correctly and the sound isn't picking up, or the computer isn't picking up what you're saying, push the silver button, because this can also mute the microphone. If you're using a desktop or you don't have a camera, then you'll need to plug one in. This is a webcam. This one in particular has two features. It takes video here and it records your audio on the side. You can also join us with a smartphone, and then you'll probably need a device like this that has speakers, and it's right over there, a built-in microphone. I'm not going to cover how to join on a smartphone, but you can also install the Zoom application on the smartphone, for example, from the Google Play Store, and then join. I'll leave that for you to do on your own if you wish, but my suggestion would be to use the desktop, because you're going to have the best meeting experience. By that I mean, or the laptop. Okay, so turn on your computer. This is a fresh install of Windows 10. And the first thing to do is to open up your web browser. So click down here on the Start icon, and then choose your web browser. It's often Microsoft Internet Explorer, or on this version it is called Edge. Sorry, there it is, Microsoft Edge. This is the default built-in web browser. And then you'll want to click up here in the location bar, and you'll want to type the website from which we're going to download the browser, which is called zoom.us. I guess Microsoft has put up a little advertisement here. I'm just going to close it, click no thanks, put my cursor back in the title bar, and then type zoom.us and press enter. This is the screen from which we want to download the meetings client. So I'm just going to take my mouse, go to the scroll bar here, which then highlights in a darker gray, click my mouse, in this case the main button, usually the left one, and then once I've done that, while holding the mouse button down, I'm going to simply drag this to the very bottom of the screen, and then here we see the option to download and the meetings client. So highlight meetings client and then mouse click on it. And then this is the file that you want to download, the meetings client, so I'll click on download. In this case, I'll save the file. Okay, and in this case, let's open the folder into which we save the file. There it is. So at this point, I'm just going to hide the web browser, which is this, because we don't need it anymore. So I'm going to just click normally on this minimize icon. And then here's the file manager window and the file we downloaded. I'm going to double click on the Zoom installer program, 1, 2. And once you've done that, you'll see the little spinning circle beside your mouse pointer. So now we're going to wait while the Zoom program installs. Now this might be a bit confusing. You might wonder, well, why is nothing happening? If you look carefully, you see this shield that's flashing at the bottom. So if this happens, you have to click on that. Or sometimes this screen might come up on its own. This is basically saying, are you sure you want to install a program that you've downloaded from the internet? In this case, we trust Zoom, and I have no concerns that I'm installing a virus on my computer. But as you know, only install things that you've downloaded from the internet if you know what they are and trust what they are. So here everything is okay. I'm going to click yes. Go ahead. And we wait a little bit. What I'm going to do is minimize my file manager window because I see this Zoom icon at the bottom, so maybe that might appear. So I'm going to minimize the file manager. Guess what? Zoom was hiding underneath all along. So at this point, you're ready to join a meeting. At this point, you've also made available or is installed already your 3 things that you need: your microphone, your speaker, and your camera. So I'll click Join a Meeting. So the first thing that you'll need is a meeting ID. So this you'll usually get by email. For example, here is such an invitation. The meeting ID is listed right here. It's a number. The other thing that you may need is a password, if the meeting is password protected. Not all of them will be. That's this number. If for whatever reason you're not able to get your speaker and your microphone working on your computer, you can perhaps also join by telephone. These are the phone numbers to call, and then the voice will ask you to enter the meeting ID and also, if present, to enter a password. In this case, you can hear and speak, but you won't be able to show people your video, although hopefully you can see the other people on your computer screen. So the first thing we'll need is our meeting ID, which in this case I'm just going to copy and paste. You can type it in if you want, doesn't matter how you do it. So then we're going to click meeting ID, and then I will simply paste it in here. I'll type my name. You can type anything here that you wish. This will be displayed to all of the participants. So when you're ready to go, just click Join. Okay, this meeting is protected by a password. So in this case, the password is 573203, which I will type right here, 573203. Each meeting is different, so don't expect that to be the password for the meeting that you're going to join. When that's done, just click Join Meeting. And up comes this question of which set of speakers and which microphone do you want to use. Most laptops have more than one set of available speakers. For example, if you have an HDMI plug where you can plug, let's say, an external monitor into your laptop, HDMI also can act as a speaker cable. Or you might want to use the speakers that are built into your laptop. So you'll have to choose. So in this case, let's click Join with Computer Audio in all cases. And then you see here a video camera and a microphone. I'm just going to switch the Zoom program so that I can actually show you how these work. Okay, so now I have joined the meeting. The meeting at present has 2 participants. There's Mark here, and there's this fellow, Mark Reimer, which is me. Hello. So on your screen at the bottom you have the microphone and the video camera, as we just talked about. If you click on the little up arrow beside the microphone, you will see one or more microphones that might be available on your computer. Just pick the one that you want to use. And the same thing for speakers. Some laptops would have built-in speakers. In my case, the headset that you see me wearing would be listed elsewhere, or if your computer has a HDMI video output, which most of them will have, you could also select that as your sound output. If you're not sure what to do, there's this option here called Audio Settings. So click that, and then go Test Speaker and Microphone. And in this screen, you can choose the speakers that you have available on your system, and then you can click Test Speaker. And if you do that and you hear a sound, your speakers are good. The same thing for microphone. On this box, you can choose if there are several microphones available or not. I have a web camera plugged in. It has a microphone, and the headset also has a microphone. So I'm using the headset microphone, and if it's working, you're going to see the blue line move back and forth as you talk. So that's how you check that the devices are working. Make sure they're selected, your microphone and your speaker, and you're good to go. If during a meeting you want to turn off your video, you can click this Stop Video button. And as you can see with this account at the top, I'm no longer visible. And to re-enable video, click there. The same thing with microphone. If you don't want to be heard, or if there's background noise and you want to make sure that isn't sent out to everybody taking part in the meeting, click the microphone icon. You will mute yourself, and when you're on mute, you'll see this red line through it, and you'll also see of all the different participants who was on mute and who was not on mute. There are a couple of other features that I would like to show you, and what I'm going to do there is going to use this version, which is more similar to the client that you'll be using. At the bottom of the screen here, you see participants. So if you want to raise your hand, for example, just click on the participants, and there's this feature here called Raise Hand. So if you do that, you just click right here, and you can see that your hand is raised. If you want to lower your hand, just click the Raise Hand feature again. These are other things that you can select. They don't do anything fancy, except they will indicate something to the presenter or to the host of the meeting. So if they say, how many of you agree, you could click yes, or you could click no, I don't agree. You could clap, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you would like to do. If you want to get rid of this little side screen, an easy way is just to click on participants again. There's a chat feature. To do chat, just click here, and then up comes a little chat window. I'm just going to ask my wife to join our meeting so that we're going to have 3 people, and then we will show you how the chat function works. Okay, there's Helen. Awesome. So what we'll do is I've opened up the chat window by clicking on the chat icon, and then to everybody I can type something such as hello. And then you've sent this message to everyone. Hello. And now Helen is going to type something on her chat function, and we will see that come up. So from Helen to everyone, hi everyone. You could also send something only to one participant, and by doing that, you would go down here where it says to, and you would select which person you want to send to. So you could say just to Helen, how are you, or something like that. So this is how the chat feature works. To close the window, the easiest thing to do is to press right here. Now I want to show you different views. So at this point we have 3 participants. This one here that doesn't have video on, me, and Helen. So this is the default view. The person who's speaking is shown on the big screen. So Helen, if you'd like to, please unmute your microphone and say something. Yes, and right now it's me who is speaking, and then automatically the video changes back to... Right. And because we're in the same room, you might hear an echo, And then Helen, if you wish, please mute your microphone, and then everything goes really well. So if there are many participants, you will see them scrolling across the top here. You may not see everybody who is taking part in that meeting. If you want to see everybody, click on participants, and you'll have a list here, and this number tells you that right now there are 3 people taking part. Another view is this gallery view. So if you click here, you'll see like a hot stove, if you will, of all the participants. And the person who's talking is going to have this little green, yellow bar around. So Helen, any thoughts? Yay! And now I'm the one who has the picture frame yet again. Awesome. And then if you want to go full screen, you can click here, and then you'll make full use of your screen space. Go back to speaker view, in which case you get this little icon, or gallery view. Anyway, you can play with it. I particularly like the gallery view that we see now because you can see everybody. You can exit full screen. And then once the meeting is finished, just click here to leave meeting, confirm, and you're back to normal. You can close Zoom, and then if you need to launch Zoom in the future, you can type right here in the search bar, Zoom, and up comes the application. Or if you prefer to use the start menu bar, you can click here, and it's usually at the bottom alphabetically. There it is. And then you're back to that screen where you can join a meeting. And then once you're there, again, enter the meeting ID that came from the email, type your name, click join, and you're good to go. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope that this was helpful. I wish you all the best. Goodbye.